The RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League is on the air. RobertsTechJobs.com, your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals, proudly brings to you IR05s live from the Iracing version of the Michigan International Speedway. This broadcast also being brought to you by TDA Motorsports, proudly sponsored by the Disabled American Veterans Association, DAV, an all-volunteer fleet of non-critical medical transport for America's veterans. On more information on how you can get involved, go to dav.org. This broadcast also being brought to you by David Llewellyn and the DHL Express. Hoot Baker, Robert Lacavara and Convergent Composites. And promotional consideration paid for by Motorsports Graphic Designs. For all your in-sim graphical needs, you got something going through your mind, you want to see it on your race car, Motorsports Graphic Designs. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight, rocking solo here at Michigan. Mr. Racing Jason Coburn over in the race control booth, giving me the finger right now for having the window shut, and I have all the beer. So that's how that works. How you doing, Jay? So IR05s from Michigan. We're going to bring the standings up on the screen right now, and Ronnie Osmer sitting top of the leaderboard right now. Just about 4 minutes left in open practice. Ronnie Osmer, David Llewellyn, and a brand new name to the ISL. You've seen the name before if you pay attention to the Monday night broadcasts of the Tin Tops. Mr. Robert Hill Jr. Making his first IndyCar start tonight. Gary Brower rejoining the league. Mike Erter sitting fifth quick. Cody Eldridge, Tom Chisholm, Nate Dean, Ron McManus, and Tony Rice rounding out your top 10. A lot of close times right now. As a matter of fact, I'm looking through the gap, and from first all the way to 13th, you're less than 1/10 of a second. So everybody seems to be getting a handle on the track pretty quick here. So for those of you who missed the fun and excitement that was Watkins Glen, you saw a couple of early melees take place. Basically, it was a snoozer from there on out. Whereas tonight at Michigan, if past races are any indication, we're looking 2 to 3 wide all night long. And the setup is going to be able to handle it, the cars are going to be able to handle it, and the drivers are definitely going to be able to handle it. Every time this league has come to the Michigan International Speedway in the IR05s, it has been one of the best shows of the season. So, looking through the list right now, and I'm counting 5 rookies, actually 6 rookies in the top 13. So that's really saying a lot for how quickly these guys are getting acclimated to the setup that the setup committee was able to produce for this car tonight. Of course, we would like to again thank RobertsTechJobs.com for providing the lion's share of the sponsorship of the Roberts Tech Jobs Indy Racing League, or Indy Speedway League, I should say. We could not do it without the gracious support of all of our sponsors and viewers like you. Now, we would ask that you go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to help spread the word of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. This, of course, is Season 3, race number 6. So, as David Llewellyn jumps to the top of the leaderboard with a 32.906, that's pretty much hauling the mail there. And I'm watching the speeds click off, and they're hauling off into the turns at north of 220 miles an hour. At a 2-mile track like this, that's flying. And, you know, I kind of am wondering how Robert Hill Jr. is going to shake out once you get into traffic, and heavy traffic, that is, with, you know, how close these guys run and not having fenders on the car, and where the driver sits is a little bit different. So we're going to touch base with Robert a little bit later here, once we get underway, and you know, before the end of the broadcast, we will definitely touch base with Robert Hill Jr. So some other big news that happened this past week. My former broadcast partner and our former race controller, Mr. Sam Cooper Bennett, has been basically loaned out, for lack of a better term, to Evolution Racing. So Sam going to be running full-time in the IR05s under the Evolution banner. Still keeping in contact and running in all other series that aren't Indy Speedway League related with the Phenomenal Motorsports, but he is going to be running tonight as a team Evolution Racing. So something to keep an eye on with the driver of the 10. So qualifying now getting underway. Cars making their way out onto the track. Again, Tony Trapasso up in the broadcast booth. Mr. Jason Coburn over in race control tonight. So should be pretty interesting. And Jason kind of had a snoozer last week. Didn't really have much to do. And I'm thinking he's going to have a little bit more to do here tonight, as we have the standings left up on the board. And time should start to trickle in here, as the newest member of Phenomenal Motorsports cranks off the first quick lap. Alex Green going to the top of the leaderboard early. Tom Chisholm, Tristan Anderson, Tyler Graff, and Mike Erder rounding out the top 5. So again, time starting to trickle in here, as we're seeing a couple of rookies going quick. Tristan Anderson, of course, has been running with us for most of the season so far, so this is about his 6th race. Robert Hill Jr., not a big surprise that he's up that far in qualifying. He does have quite a few laps in the tin tops here, so you give him something with some downforce and about tires that are twice as wide, and I believe he's going to be hauling the mail most of the night. Terry Adams blistering a lap, and Robert Hill Jr. goes to the top of the board. These guys are seesawing it back and forth all race long, or all qualifying session long. Mike the Iceman Erder now going top of the board. The question is somebody going to get into the 32s in qualifying? That's going to be something to see, and it wouldn't surprise me. There's a certain name that is back with the league that it wouldn't surprise me to see him pull that off. And that, of course, is Erder's teammate, Gary Front Row Bauer. So just under 2 minutes left before we go to the pre-race drivers meeting. Again, Erder sitting at the top of the board. Isaiah Dupree now goes second quick, as Whitaker bumps Dupree off the front row. 24 thousandths of a second. That doesn't seem like a lot when you say it, but when you're doing 220 miles an hour, it's an eternity. And that's the difference right now between Erder and Whitaker. Whitaker, of course, the defending DW12 Series champion. as Isaiah Dupree goes quick time by 2 1/1000ths of a second. That is less than the width, nose to tail, of the front wing on these cars. It's about half the width of that. So really close time sitting at the top of the board right now. About 45 seconds left before the pre-race drivers meeting is going to get underway. Dupree, Erder, Whitaker, Lacavara, Carpenter, Chisholm, Anderson. No, I'm not speaking in double. It's Jay and Tristan, no relation. Sam Cooper Bennett going 9th quick. Robert Hill Jr. rounding out your top 10. As qualifying, getting ready to end here, as we are going to be throwing it down momentarily to league owner Alex Green with the pre-race instructions here.
All right, guys. Thanks everybody for being here tonight. Fun track, good field. 20, I believe we got about 30 cars in here. Just eyeballing it. So always good to have. 29 official total. Just the big things tonight. Make sure that nobody runs the apron, especially in the front straightaway. I know it's tempting, but official ISL rule is all racing needs to take place on the racing surface. If you dip down to the apron and it's unavoidable, that's fine as long as you do not pass anybody. If you do happen to gain position from doing that, you need to yield position. Just standard everyday rule with us. I believe we're pitting off turn 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just go using the backstretch there. Just call it, and you know, be safe on pit road, especially on the exit. And there's a lot of, it's pretty slick there. So just be real easy that. Hopefully you guys got some practice runs on that. I'll have a points update hopefully tomorrow. I'll let everybody know where they stand. But about the midway point of the season. So been a lot of fun, guys. Good luck. I'll turn it over to Jason. Thank you for race control tonight, Jason. Thank you, Tony, in the booth.
Not a problem, Alex. Okay, guys. Like Alex said, let's not pass on the apron. Like he also said, if you do, you have to yield the position. If not, you will get a black flag for that. Also, let's not have any flaming, okay? That is not tolerated whatsoever. And yeah, let's have fun. It's a big track, lots of room. Get to clean and have fun.
Also, let's observe a bit of patience on this. There's a lot of cars, so best thing to do is just go off the car in front of you and not as soon as we go green.
And like I have said numerous times, you cannot win it in turn 1, but you sure as hell can make your night a whole lot more difficult.
I love you guys.
Also, if I miss a wreck, call it out. Give me the car number, and I'll look back at it. Not saying that I will, but there is a chance that it could happen.
And also, real quick, just please keep the chatter to a minimum until the leaders have caught the pace car. You don't need to explain what happened during the wreck. There's plenty of time under caution to explain your side of the story. Just until the leader has caught the pace car, please try to keep the comms quiet. All right, so that's going to do it for the pre-race drivers meeting. Isaiah Dupree sitting up on the point. Let me pull up the actual standings here. And of course I only have the top 20 up. Why would I have anything different? Awesome. So 24 cars taking time tonight. Dupree, Erder, Whitaker, Lacavara, Carpenter, Chisholm, Anderson, Cooper Bennett, Hill, Adams, Graff, Llewellyn, Paskowich, Osmer, Green, Parkman, Bauer, Eldred, Lucas, Rice, Roberts, Vickery, and Dean. Nate Dean, your last car to take time tonight. Which means that Brad Truax, David Bowden, Mick Woods, Ron McManus, and Chris Bouchard are all going to be starting shotgun on the field. So, just about 30 seconds left before the cars are going to start to grid. Would like to take this moment to remind everybody you are watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, of course, is your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you. Cars starting to make their way onto the grid right now. As we are set to do battle for 100 laps here at the beautiful 2-mile house that Penske built. As again, cars gridding up. As we are waiting for the front row to actually grid, so we can get on board with them.
Wake up.
And I love it when people are watching the stream and don't realize that there's about a 20-second delay. So, anywho. So, Dupree, Erder, Whitaker, Lacavara, Carpenter, Chisholm, Jay Anderson, Tristan Anderson, going to make up row number 4. Sam Cooper Bennett and Robert Hill Jr. are in row 5. Terry Adams, Tyler Graff in row 6. Row 7 is going to see David Llewellyn and Kevin Paskowich. Ronnie Osmer and Alex Green making up row number 8. Chris Parkman and Gary Bauer in row 9. Row 10 is going to see Cody Eldred and Dylan Lucas. Tony Rice and Bill Roberts going to make up row number 11. Row 12 is Tyler Vickery and Nate Dean. Row 13 is going to see Chris Bouchard and David Bowden, with Ron McManus and Mick Woods making up row 14. So 28 cars still in the session as the field rolls off. Isaiah Dupree going to lead them to the green. Again, Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you tonight. 100 laps, the scheduled distance here at Michigan. Jason Coburn over in race control. Again, giving me the finger because I have all the beer. So the field's starting to work its way through the 3-4 complex. Let me just make sure I'm live. Yes, I am. And away we go. Pace car getting ready to duck on off. Pace cars in.
Green flag.
And
green
Dupree
flag.
pulls the trigger. As we're waiting for the order to sort out, Mike Whitaker going second, or getting a great jump. As Mike Erder battling with Whitaker going down the back straightaway. Whitaker's got the clear and the preferred line as they haul off into turn number 3, trying to reel in Isaiah Dupree. The top four have pretty much, top four have pretty much started to walk away from Mark Carpenter. And lap 1 is in the books. Dupree, Whitaker, Erder, Lacavara, Carpenter, Chisholm, Anderson. That's Jay Anderson. Cooper Bennett, Parkman, and Adams, your top 10. And throw a blanket over the top 4 as, again, they are really starting to gap Mark Carpenter. 3/4 of a second to the good between Carpenter and 4th place Lacavara. As Whitaker trying to get that high side to start working early here. Mike Erder goes with him. As they go side by side down the back straightaway. Whitaker with a nose out front and Dupree still hanging tight. Whitaker able to keep it wound up, pinches Dupree down just a little bit. Dupree flirting with the apron, not really going onto it, but definitely flirting with it. As they are too wide and scattered throughout the field. Jay Anderson starting to make some waves right now in the middle of the pack as he goes side by side with the 14 of Cody Eldred. Eldred still rocking the Sarge's Army paint scheme. As I believe that's Parkman, Adams, and Chisholm battling it out there. Sorry, that's Parkman and Carpenter. As Carpenter gives Parkman the space, yielding to the high side to let Parkman try to reel in that group in front of him. Back up in front, though, Whitaker still side by side with Dupree as they haul off into 1. Dupree pushes Whitaker high just a little bit on the entrance. Whitaker has to check up, kills a little bit of momentum. Here comes Erder. The cavalry is coming. Whitaker still side by side, nose out in front as they haul off into turn number 3. This is your battle for the lead. As Dupree still with the preferred line. Currently working lap 7 as they just crossed the stripe to start it. And the tires still have a lot of the goody on them, but I'm thinking once they get a little bit later into this run, which we're only looking about 20 laps at best, you're going to see that low line start to get a little loose. That's been the MO of this track. When the fuel starts to wear off, the car does start to get a little tail happy. As Lacavara looks to the inside of Erder, that's your battle for 3rd. Lacavara with the preferred line on the inside. Whitaker still trying to get that outside line to work to get by Dupree. Dupree hugging that low line. Side by side down the back straightaway. Whitaker with a nose out front again. Lacavara got a little twitchy going into 3, had to check up a little bit. Here comes Parkman. All that battling has let that second pack catch him. Dupree, Whitaker, Erder, Parkman, Adams, Lacavara, Carpenter, Eldred, Osmer, and Chisholm, your top 10. Then you're a half second back to Jay Anderson in 11th, and another half second back to Alex Green in 12th. Dupree continuing to show the way on the low side, has Parkman in his draft right now. And Parkman's definitely one of those drivers that's not really content to run in second. If he's got a chance to get out front, Parkman's going to figure it out. Whitaker still holding that high side, trying to get the rubber down on the second lane. Hopefully that when the fuel starts to burn off and they get later in the run, that lane's going to come into its own and into play. So Dupree with a shove down the front straightaway from Parkman, as Whitaker with a nose out front again as they haul off into turn number 3. Whitaker with the clear. We've got a new leader. Mike Whitaker, the world's fastest hippie. Moving on to the point. Got the high line to work finally. Dupree's going to try to get him back as they come through the tri-oval. Chalk up that lap to Whitaker, as they are starting to get a little bit chippy towards the back of the pack. Terry Adams flirting with disaster there, almost getting into the marbles, keeping it off the wall though. Tucks in behind Bob Lacavara, his teammate. As Dupree goes back to the low side. And Parkman in the draft to Dupree. Dupree back to the point. So give that lap to Dupree. Whitaker led a lap to get the bonus point for that. Dupree, Parkman, Whitaker, Osmer, Erder, your top 5. Basically throw a blanket over the top 9. Parkman looking on that low side right now. I think Parkman's trying to pick his spot. If Dupree leaves an opening like that again, watch for Parkman in the 20 to pounce. Dupree's going to have to play defense on that low side, or else Parkman's just going to walk him. And that's going to slow him down and let the rest of these guys reel him back in. We're almost 3 wide going into turn number 3 for third. Mark Carpenter wisely backing out of it. And Parkman and Dupree still side by side for the lead. Dupree sliding up a little bit in the middle of the turn. I'm thinking he may have worn the goodie off those tires. We're 15 laps into this fuel stint. So look for green flag stops to start happening any time now as Parkman gets the run through 3 and 4. Parkman up to the point. And the winningest driver in the ISL now leads lap number 15, starting lap number 16. Gives Dupree plenty of room on the low side. Parkman going to keep it wound up on the high side on the exit of 2. Dupree with Osmer for help. Osmer giving Dupree a shove. Yes, you can bump draft in an IndyCar in Iracing. Parkman and Dupree side by side. Parkman with a nose out front. Give that lap to Parkman. 15 thousandths of a second at the line. As they are quickly coming up on lap traffic. Parkman still with the nose out front. Carpenter trying to work with Parkman. Dupree still holding on to second, as I believe that's Kevin Paskowitz directly in front of them. As Tyler Graff brings it pit side, it looks like Paskowicz, Cooper Bennett, and Robert Hill have all gone pit side. However, without the draft, definitely not something you want to do, as Graf brings it out of the pits with a hungry pack of wolves chomping down on him. Parkman continuing to show the way. Paskowicz, a sitting duck right now, as the field just reeling him in. Paskowicz already one lap down, in danger of going a second lap down. As Parkman continues to show the way, Mark Carpenter being scored in second, Isaiah Dupree, Ronnie Osmer, and Mike Whitaker rounding out your top 5. Currently working lap 20 of 100. And again, green flag pit stops starting to happen. It looks like Whitaker and his Pinnacle Motorsports teammate Terry Adams, Parkman going pit side. That's going to hand the lead of the race over to Mark Carpenter, who again is reeling in Kevin Paskowicz very quickly. Looks like Paskowicz might have a little bit of damage on the left side pod of that car. Yes, there is definitely damage on the left side of Paskowicz's car. As everybody bringing it down pit road this time. Hopefully nobody gets run over. So Paskowicz with a temporary reprieve. There's a couple cars locking it up to try to get it woed down. And this is where the games begin. So Carpenter into his pit stall. Dupree finally hits his pit stall. Parkman already finished his stop, starting to reel these guys back in. Here he comes. And there he goes. Osmer winning the battle off pit road. However, Parkman already up to speed, as is Mike Whitaker. You see Parkman and Whitaker right there in shot. Graf currently sitting in third. Osmer back to fourth. And that's your battle for third right now. That is your closest battle on the track. Working lap 23 of 100. Parkman continues to show the way. Parkman, Whitaker, Graf, Osmer, Dupree, Eldred, Erder, Green, Bauer, and Bowden, your top 10. Looks like fast pit stop went to Tyler Graf with a 6.9 in stall. Best pit stop on and off pit lane goes to Alex Green with a 30.9. So Alex Green getting some work done there, picking up a handful of spots. As we see Osmer go by Graf. Those two run nose to tail. They should be able to reel in Mike Whitaker, who's only... you see him right there as Whitaker has reeled in Parkman within striking distance there. If Osmer and Graf work together, they can definitely reel in the leaders. Is Whitaker looking on the high side of Parkman again. Those guys running too wide is definitely going to let Osmer and Graf reel them in. Graf currently sitting in fourth, almost a full second to the good over Isaiah Dupree, currently in fifth. as Whitaker with a nose out front as they haul off into turn number 3. Parkman with the preferred line, though. Parkman back out to the point. Gets the clear as they exit 4 down through the tri-oval. Whitaker able to keep it wound up. Parkman still hugging that low line. 1 car length. 33 thousandths of a second. Parkman at the line. Whitaker again with a nose out front as they go down the back straightaway. Whitaker with the clear. And Whitaker to the point. Parkman going to get in line and just push Mike Whitaker. One of only 2 guys in this league I would actually trust to push me. The other one being Cody Eldred. So Parkman and Eldred really the only 2 that I would actually feel comfortable with pushing me like that. As they go side by side again down the back straightaway. And Osmer and Graf are reeling them in. They were 3/4 of a second back, now under 1/2 of a second. Parkman back up to the point. Whitaker running that second line. And I'm thinking Whitaker, with it being this early in the race, Whitaker might be running that higher line to see what type of tire wear he gets up there. Maybe hoping to double stint tires later in the event. Currently working lap 29 of 100. Parkman, Whitaker, Osmer, Graf, Dupree, Eldred, Erder, Bauer, Lucas, and Bowden, your top 10. And there it is. Osmer and Graf have caught the leaders. 1.5 seconds to the good. Throw a blanket over these top 4. And they are 1.5 seconds in front of Isaiah Dupree. Almost the entire length of the back straightaway. You see Dupree just barely in shot there. As Osmer and Graf go to the high side. Whitaker on the unfamiliar low side. Osmer with a run right now. As Paskowicz goes pit side. Osmer on the high side, Parkman on the low side. That's your battle for the lead. The young gunner against the veteran. Osmer with a nose out front. Parkman with the preferred line. Osmer given plenty of room. Graf in the slipstream of Parkman right now. And it looks like Whitaker might be in fuel-saving mode, just letting these guys just duke it out. Trying to stay in clean air as Paskowicz spins it coming out of the pits. Down off the racing line. Does not bring a caution out, though. Tough break for the PH-aware driver. Osmer again with a nose out front. Parkman again with that preferred line. Osmer running almost 2.5 lanes up. Keeping it wound up, though. Chalk that lap up to Osmer. 5/1000ths of a second. Osmer again able to keep it wound up. I'm thinking Parkman might be starting to get a little bit squirrely, hugging that low line as long as he has. Whitaker gets by as well and gets the clear. Parkman now in the slipstream of Osmer, going to try to reel him in. Osmer to the point. The young gunner and the old guard. Working lap 34 of 100. Osmer, Parkman, Whitaker, Graf, Dupree, Eldred, Erder, Bauer, Bowden, and Lucas. As Parkman sees an opening on the low side, Osmer sees he's coming, lets him have it, gives him plenty of room. Still way too early to be making crazy moves to try to throw a block. For only 17 years old, Ronnie Osmer definitely has a lot of racecraft under his belt. So you got Parkman and Graf on the low side, Osmer and Whitaker on the high side. As Osmer gets a great run through the 3-4 complex, gets right back up to the point, drops down in front of Parkman. Parkman going to use the slipstream as they come through the tri-oval. Watching him make a move here. Goes to the high side going into turn 1. Parkman going to try to cross him over on the exit. Doesn't really have the room to do it. Stays on the high side. He's been seeing guys pass him most of the race on the high side, so it looks like Parkman's going to take a page out of everyone else's book and see what that high side has to offer. That second lane really starting to come in, which is definitely good to see after playing follow the leader for the past couple of weeks. And it looks like Tyler Graf looking to make it 3 wide for second, wisely backing out of it as they haul off into turn number 1. Osmer still with a nose out front as they exit 2. Parkman now to the point. 3/4 of a car length to the good. Osmer again with the preferred line on the inside. Flirting with that apron as Parkman able to keep it wound up on the second lane side by side with him. They come to the stripe. Osmer with a nose out front. 4 1,000ths of a second at the stripe for Osmer. And we're closing in quickly on the next round of green flag stops as Tyler Graf taking it pit side first. Osmer and Parkman continue to run side by side. 25 thousandths of a second that time for Osmer. Whitaker just looking for clean air right now. As you are watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com and the Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, of course, is your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you. As Graf goes a lap down coming out of the pits, Osmer still keeping it wound up. Still showing the way as Parkman to the inside this time. And Parkman taking it pit side. Osmer and Whitaker staying out. Parkman drops it down pit side. Looks like he's going by his lonesome too. Dupree stays out, 2.5 back. As Whitaker bringing it pit side. And Osmer's going to stay out. So a little pit strategy starting to play into the mix of things right now. As Osmer, Dupree, and Eldred stay out, as well as Erder, Whitaker, Bauer, and Alex Green all going pit side. Bouchard and Chisholm staying out as well. Tyler Vickery staying out. Vickery, of course, running with Evolution Racing, Ronnie Osmer's team. So look for him to come pit side this time. Osmer brings it pit side now, as it looks like Isaiah Dupree coming pit side as well. Osmer gets it locked up. Dupree slides in. Dupree may have gotten popped for speeding. And what happened to Mike Erder? Spins it coming onto pit road. Let's take a look at the replay of that one. Real quick on the replay. Here comes Erder. You see Eldred in front of him. Erder still hauling the mail as they come into the commitment cone. And just slides it in, locks it up, and that's all she wrote. Back up to the point, Ronnie Osmer winning the battle off pit road. Parkman up to speed. And that's Ron McManus right now working with Ronnie Osmer. You see Parkman and I believe that's Graf in the tail end of that shot. McManus right now behind behind Osmer, one lap down. So as Parkman and Graf reel in Osmer, McManus just lets him go. Osmer protecting that low side as everybody's flirting with the apron right now. Trying to make the arc to go into turn one. Osmer's going to make them do it the hard way if they want it. Parkman able to keep it wound up side by side with a nose out front as they haul down the back straightaway. Parkman with the nose out front, all into turn number 3. Osmer with the preferred line, though. Graf going with Parkman. As you watch Tristan Anderson lock him up going on to pit road. Give that lap to Parkman. Parkman again with a nose out front, actually with the whole car out front. Osmer just letting him go. Looks like Osmer's going back into fuel save mode. Osmer going to try to arc the turn. Parkman showing the way. Tyler Graf all over his transmission tunnel. Parkman, Graf, Osmer, Whitaker, Bowden, Eldred, Bauer, Green, Lucas, and Robert Hill Jr. rounding out your top 10. It's a good run going right now for Robert Hill Jr. in his first IndyCar start with the ISL. And give that one to Graf by 4 1/1000ths of a second at the stripe. So that second line really starting to come in, especially about halfway through the run. As Graf with the clear now, Parkman basically having no say in the matter whatsoever, as Osmer gave Graf a great push down the back straightaway. And I will say this, I probably have said it before, but I'll say it again. If you've never been bump drafting in an IndyCar, it is the scariest thing ever when you see that little green text come up in iRacing that says contact. It's a 0x, and you look down and you're suddenly doing 7 to 8 miles an hour faster than you know you should be going. It's Tyler Graf showing the way now. Ronnie Osmer, Chris Parkman battling it out for second. And basically this is turning into a 3-horse race as Mike Whitaker 4 seconds back off this battle for the lead right now. Graf, Parkman, and Osmer 1, 2, and 3, not necessarily in that order, as they are just completely walking the field. Definitely the class of the field so far. Working with each other to try to get as much distance as they can in front of everyone else. I know people have said in the past that I spend too much time focusing on the leaders, but when the top 3 cars are running side by side and swapping the lead just about every other lap, yeah, I'm going to kind of stay there with the broadcast. So if anyone else wants to give me a hand up in the booth, you're more than welcome to join me. But right now, Parkman with a nose out front as they come down the back straightaway to the clear. Ronnie Osmer on the high side by side as they haul off into turn number 3. Osmer given plenty of room. Looks like he's trying to arc the corner and get a run coming off a 4 using the slipstream. 3 mile an hour difference for Osmer, just a little too far back that time. Give that one to Parkman, 27 thousandths of a second at the stripe. And Parkman, Osmer, and Graf are 4.5 seconds to the good right now. And we're about halfway through a fuel run. Or actually 3/4 of a way through a fuel run right now. And just past the halfway part. As Parkman, Osmer, and Graf just continuing to put on a clinic right now. Ron McManus in there hanging in there, trying to pick up some pointers. Ron just getting the call up recently from the Pro Mazda Series, coming back to the big cars as we refer to them. So good on you, Ron. Welcome back to the big cars and showing that you are able to hang with the leaders. Just some early race trouble catching them a lap down. As Osmer showing the way right now, Parkman and Graf right there with him. As Bauer gets by Whitaker for 4th. Still 4 seconds back though. As we are 45 to go. With that 44 to go. And Parkman with a nose out front. And the clear off of 2. Graf going to duck back in. Osmer back in fuel save mode. These guys are swapping the lead just to say, hey, I led a lap. I believe that was Paskowicz coming out of the pits again. Sam Cooper Bennett, that's who that was. Osmer back up to the point. Parkman lets him have it. Graf going to slip through as well on the inside. Osmer, Parkman, and Graf 4 1/4 seconds to the good right now. As it looks like Graf going pit side. That's going to let Osmer and Parkman continue to motivate their way around this beautiful two-mile high bank oval in the Irish Hills of Michigan. So Graf in, Bowden in. Looks like Jay Anderson also in. Parkman on his way in. As the 44 pointing the wrong way on a one-way street. That's Nate Dean overcooking it there. Ronnie Osmer continues to show the way. I believe that's Tyler Graf that came out just behind him. Osmer's been averaging about 2 extra laps over these guys as far as when he's able to pit. A fast lap of the race so far. Ronnie Osmer with a 32.815. As Bauer and Green both go pit side. Cody Eldred currently sitting in second place, just over 4 seconds back off of your leader, Ronnie Osmer. And Eldred and Whitaker battling it out right now. As you see Sam Cooper Bennett directly in front of him.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And there's the first one. What on earth just happened? I have no idea. Dylan Lucas. Lucas coming out of the pits and just loses it. And actually does come up onto the racing line. There goes your leaders flashing by. That's going to bring out the first caution, working lap 63 of 100. So that's going to trap Chris Parkman a lap down, Tyler Graff a lap down. I believe Mike Whitaker is going to be going to the tail end of the longest line because he had just entered pit road when the caution came out. Not sure if he actually went down. Looks like he did get pit service. But Osmer, Eldred, Bouchard, Dupree, Vickery, Chisholm, Rice, Lacavara, Erder, all not going pit side yet. Now that we are back live, looks like Lacavara and Erder are going pit side. And we are going to... Where the hell did I see him? Who's he hiding with?
User was moved to your channel.
We're going to check in with Mr. Robert Hill Jr. making his first start in the RobertsTechJobs.com Indy Speedway League. Robert, can you describe to us what you're feeling right now as far as, I know you've run this track quite a few times in the tin tops. Describe to us the difference that you're feeling with the IndyCar right now.
This is a lot more work turning these cars, I find. The aero's insane. Pit road's tough. It's a huge difference.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you remember to map a button for the pit road speed limiter?
I did. I remembered to do that, and I finally remembered to add a tear-off button, because in practice I couldn't see anything.
Yes, the beauty of an open-wheel, open-cockpit car. But
Yeah,
for the most part, are you having fun? That's the big question right now.
I'm definitely having fun, just hoping we can get back on the lead lap here. I'm off sequence here in pit stops, just because of an incident with Paskowicz earlier, but this should help us out here.
I was going to ask what took place, but it looks like you guys are going to get the wave around, showing you guys right now on the tail end of the lead lap as the leaders are directly behind you.
That's right, yeah. If we get waved around, I'm going to try to drop down pit road, grab some fuel, and then be back on sequence with everyone else.
Well, unfortunately, you guys aren't going to get the wave around until 1 to go.
All right.
So, best of luck. Best of luck to you in the rest of the race, and we'll touch base with you at the end of it and see what your feelings are at that point. We're going to move you back up to the. I believe you're an honorary Team Three Musket Beers driver tonight.
That's right. Yeah, they invited me just for the evening, and we'll see how it goes. Never know what's next.
Well, hopefully you're going to be able to make it back here on Sunday night for the DW12 version of this.
I'll be here.
All right, we'll see you then. Best of luck in the rest of the race.
Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
So definitely the difference between the stock cars, or the tin tops as we sometimes call them, and the Indy cars is, yes, you do definitely have to work to get the car to turn in traffic, because these cars, any driver that thinks that a stock car is aero dependent and definitely has aero push, you ain't seen nothing yet until you've gone to get sucked up behind somebody in an Indy car and you go to turn the wheel and there's nothing there. As Jay Anderson blinking badly again. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's got that router problem fixed. So, Mike Whitaker currently showing the way as Ronnie Osmer, Cody Eldred, Chris Bouchard, and the rest of them had to take it down pit side. So the top 11 on the lead lap. A lot of cars looking to get the wave around. And it looks like they're getting the wave arounds now. So that's going to put 18 cars back on the lead lap. Bill Roberts is going to be the next in line to get a lucky dog, as he's going to be battling it out with Sam Cooper Bennett, David Llewellyn, Mick Woods, Nate Dean, Ron McManus, Kevin Paskowich, all 1 lap down. Terry Adams 2 laps down. And Dylan Lucas, I'm being told, just got told to park. So lights out on the pace car, making sure that we are live. And of course, you are watching a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com IndyCar Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com is your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and be sure to let Bill know that the ISL sent you. So Whitaker, Osmer, Eldred, Bouchard, Dupree, Vickery, Lacavara, Chisholm, Rice, and Erder, your top 10 as we get ready to go back to green flag action. Mike Whitaker going to lead him back to the green, the world's fastest hippie and defending DW12 Series champion up on point. He's got Season 1 IR05 champion Cody Eldred directly behind him. And one of the young gunners, actually a couple of the young gunners, Chris Bouchard getting his first win in the DW12s the other night at Watkins Glen, as Whitaker pulls the trigger early. Eldred giving Osmer plenty of room.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And that's never a good thing. Jay Anderson not going. Sam Cooper Bennett spinning it through the grass. What happened there, Sam? As that's Alex Green? What happened to Alex? Gary Bauer gets sideways. Alex had to take evasive action to stay off of Gary Bauer, puts it through the grass. Sam Cooper Bennett takes evasive action to stay off of Alex Green, and the caution comes right back out. As I'm looking over into the broadcast booth, and Jason Coburn, into the race control booth, Jason Coburn keeping an eye on things right now. Let's here we are getting ready to go back to green. We're going to follow along with Alex Green and see if we can see what happened here. As the SN just stepped out on him. And it looks like Sam Cooper Bennett did pretty much the same thing. Here we are watching Bennett just spun it. And race control saying that it was Alex Green that brought that caution out. So back under caution, will be 30 to go this time across the stripe. So we have not seen the money stop. Something to keep in mind. We have not seen it, as looks like Ronnie Osmer pitted under that under this caution. So playing a little fuel strategy there for Osmer, possibly looking to short pit that final stop. Can get just about 20 laps out of a tank of fuel here. 30 laps to go currently. Whitaker, Eldred, Bouchard, Dupree, Chisholm, Erder, Lacavara, Parkman, Graff, and Bauer, your top 10. And while we're still under caution,
User was moved to your channel.
And while we're still under caution, we're going to talk to the league's latest winner, Mr. Chris Bouchard, who was able to conquer Watkins Glen on Sunday night in the DW12s. Unfortunately, my crippled ass was passed out after going to Super Dirt Week, and I do apologize for missing it, Chris, but congratulations.
Oh, thank you, man. I just can't believe after the disappointment of Sunday and me making a complete jackass of myself on Tuesday that I'd win on Sunday. So it was just really, really validating for me.
Well, for what it's worth, you did have a very fast car on Tuesday. It's just you had an early race oops that just made it so you kind of had to struggle.
Yeah, I thought I had the strategy to win that race, but I just threw it away in turn one. On this last race, the DW12 race, I thought I had a second place car with a winning strategy, but the 91 had issues late in the race, or midway through the race, and that pretty much sealed the deal for me. All I had to do is cruise.
Yeah, we'll go over that on Sunday, but lights are going out on the pace car. We'll let you get back up into your TeamSpeak channel, and best of luck in the rest of the race, sir.
All right, thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
So yeah, for those of you who are wondering where Sunday's broadcast was, I actually went to the Billy Whitaker 200, part of Napa Auto Parts Super Dirt Week in Oswego, New York, and saw one hell of a race there. And I came home, heated up some dinner, sat down in my chair to eat and get the stream set up, and the next thing I know, I look up and the sun's coming through the window behind my desk, and I look down and there's a pulled pork sandwich sitting on my shirt. So yeah, I do want to apologize to the entire league for just passing out like that, but Mike Whitaker getting ready to lead him back to green, as we are going to be 28 to go this time across the stripe. Whitaker, Eldred, Bouchard, Dupree, Chisholm, Erder, Parkman, Lacavara, Bauer, and Graff, your top 10. Let's see what type of start Whitaker can get here. Eldred trying to keep him within eyesight. And here we go.
Green flag.
Bouchard goes side by side with Eldred, with the preferred line going into one. Eldred going to give him plenty of room. Going to duck in behind, use the draft, it looks like. When it comes to fuel strategy races, never count out Cody Eldred. And again, we have not seen the money stop. The question is, who takes what and when? as Bouchard to the inside of Whitaker. And give that lap to Bouchard. 25 thousandths of a second at the stripe. Chris Bouchard won on Sunday, doing his best to try to hold point here. Isaiah Dupree worked his way back from a lap down, now back on the lead lap. Mike Erder in the mix. As you got Whitaker, Parkman, and I believe that's Eldred on the high side, trying to get that second lane to work through the corners. Bouchard trying to play both halves against the middle as they work their way down the back straightaway. Whitaker with a run. Bouchard with the preferred line. Still about halfway through this fuel run. Let's see who's going to blink first, as we are going to be 25 to go this time across the stripe. You can't make it from here, but God knows somebody's going to try. Bouchard continues to show the way. Whitaker pulls alongside as they go down the back straightaway. Bouchard with a nose out front as they go through the 3-4 complex. Dupree alongside Whitaker now. Parkman bumps Erder. And let's see what brought that one out. Robert Hill Jr. pointing the wrong way on a one-way street. Somebody's upside down. It was Jay Anderson. And that would be Jay's teammate, David Llewellyn. Let's take a look at what happened there. Let's go to a chase cam. Actually, let's go to the chopper, see what the chopper saw. Hill sees Anderson down there, holds his line. Anderson catches the apron, and just up she went. And David Llewellyn caught up in someone else's dumpster fire again. And the question is somebody going to try to make it from here? As Tyler Graff stays out, Bob Lacavara stays out, Ronnie Osmer, Tyler Vickery, Tony Rice, and Alex Green stay out. As we now have the exit of pit road here to see who won the race off of pit road. As Dupree and Whitaker both hit their boxes. Erder hits his. And Bouchard's down and away. So Bouchard winning the race off pit road. Dupree, Whitaker, Parkman, Eldred, Erder, Bowden, Chisholm, Bauer, Carpenter, Jay Anderson, Bill Roberts, and Robert Hill Jr. So it's going to hand the lead of the race over to Tyler Graff. As Kevin Pasquich going to get back on the lead lap. It was a long, hard-fought battle to do so. As somebody just twiffed a motor. And I have no idea who it was. Dylan Lucas, maybe? Looks like Dylan Lucas just twiffed the motor. Yep. And that's what that was. That's going to hand the lead of the race over to Bob Lacavara. So Lacavara, Osmer, Vickery, Rice, Green, Bouchard, Dupree, Whitaker, Parkman, and Eldred, your top 10. 22 to go. And Bob Lacavara, 15 laps into his stint. Ronnie, 9 laps in. Tyler Vickery, 10 laps in. Tony Rice, 9 laps. Alex Green, 9 laps. Chris Bouchard, 2. Isaiah, 2. Whitaker, 2. Make sure we are live. And we are now 1 to green. As the lights go out on the pace car, Bob Lacavara going to have the control of the field when we do go back to green as soon as the pace car clears the commitment cone. And again, a lot of these guys, we have not seen the money stop, so I'm wondering who's going to be saving and who isn't. And that's never a good sign. Bear with me, folks. Having a little technical difficulties here as my camera control program decided to, as they sometimes say, poo the bed. So pace car getting ready to duck on in as we are going to be going live with 20 to go. Bob Lacavara in control of the field. Ronnie Osmer sitting outside row number 1. Tyler Vickery, Tony Rice. As Lacavara pulls the trigger just as the green flag comes out, as the field scatters. Lacavara, Osmer, Vickery, Rice, Bouchard, Green, Dupree, Parkman, Whitaker, and Erder, your top 10 as we currently sit. Some of these guys, we're going to try to see if they can make it from here. Essentially, everyone from Chris Bouchard back has pretty much made their bed. Lacavara, Osmer, Vickery, and Rice still have yet to have their money stop. And Bouchard just riding, knowing that the guys in front of him still have yet to make a pit stop, as we are 18 to go this time. And it looks like, well, nope, nobody going pit side this time, but you got the teammates on the high side with Ronnie Osmer and Tyler Vickery. Lacavara continuing to show the way. Osmer still on the high side. Chris Bouchard just riding right now. As Osmer with a nose out front as they haul off into turn number 3. Lacavara with the preferred line. Osmer with the drafting help, though, as Alex Green goes in front of Chris Parkman. Green going to try to help Lacavara. You got the old guard on the inside, the young gunners on the high side. Alex Green just riding right now. I believe Alex has made his money stop. No, Alex Green has yet to stop as well. So right now, Chris Bouchard in the catbird seat. Currently running in 5th. He's got Isaiah Dupree coming like a freight train on his inside. Dupree has already made his money stop. Bouchard has already made his money stop as we are 15 to go. And a little bit of contact between Green and Lacavara. A little bit of wing damage for Green. That's going to slow him down just a little bit. Had a run and the hole closed on him way too quickly. 14 to go. It's going to be 13 this time across the stripe. And these guys are getting chippy. Lacavara currently 25 laps into his fuel stint. He's got to be almost on bingo fuel. Osmer again with a nose out front. Lacavara with some drafting help from Isaiah Dupree. And the preferred line going into turn number 3. Side by side coming out of turn number 4. Lacavara on the low side. Osmer on the high side. Side by side to the stripe. And 6 1/1000ths of a second for Lacavara that time across the stripe. 12 to go as they're almost 3 wide going through the 1-2 complex. That was Parkman on the high side. And Alex Green with a run on the inside, trying to make it 3 wide. Going to go to the point. Alex Green to the lead. The newest member of Phenomenal Motorsports showing why they picked him up. Alex Green showing the way right now. And chalk that one up to Green, leading the lap there. Lap 90 of 100 currently underway. 11 to go. Green and Osmer side by side. Again, both these drivers still have to make their money stop. Bob Lacavara with 27 laps on his current fuel stint. How much more is in that tank? $10 to go now. Green and Osmer still side by side. Alex Green with an awesome run right now. This is the run he's been looking for all season long. Drafting help from Chris Parkman down low. With a shove from Parkman. 2 1/1000ths of a second for Ronnie Osmer that time. As Alex Green gets the shove, goes out in front, gets a little bit high. Osmer gives him room. I'm sure Green had to lift to try to stay off him, so that's going to kill some momentum. Not a lot, though. Green with a run back down on the inside this time. 9 to go. Going to be 8 at the stripe. Alex Green fighting with the teammates on the high side. It's Osmer and Vickery both hooked up. Again, both still have to make their money stop. 24 laps into their stint. 8 to go right now. As we are 4 wide for 4th place. Alex Green up in front. Chris Parkman right behind him. Ronnie Osmer hung out to dry on the high side. Parkman has already made his money stop with 7 to go. Alex Green, how much more does he have left in the tank? As Bob Lacavara has gone a lap down, having to pit under this green flag action. I believe Ronnie Osmer is just going to stay out there as long as he can. Alex Green has made his bed, and he's going to lie in it as well. Gary Bauer with a run right now. Bauer up in that third lane. That lap goes to Osmer. And they've got the lap car to deal with. That's going to be the 78 of Ron McManus, just trying to stay out of everybody's way. Osmer going pit side. Victory going pit side. Green stays out. 6 to go. It's going to be 5 to go at the stripe. Green and Carpenter side by side. Give that lap to Carpenter. Green doing yeoman's work right now on the inside. No teammates to help him anywhere near him. And Green's got to go pit side. He's out of gas. Green is out of fuel. Heartbreaker for the driver of the 30. Mark Carpenter now shows the way. Carpenter has already made his money stop. 5 to go. It'll be 4 to go this time across the stripe. As Isaiah Dupree with a run on the inside. Here comes Robert Hill Jr. in his first ever ISL start. Gary Bauer trying to shut the door. Isaiah Dupree up to the point. Mark Carpenter led that lap by 1/1000th of a second over Dupree. As it looks like Parkman and Bowden hooking up on the high side, try to get some bump drafting going on. Robert Hill Jr. right now in the slipstream, just waiting for the mistake to happen in front of him. Gary Bauer looking for a hole. No hole to be had. Carpenter leading that lap, 80 thousandths of a second. Bauer in second, Dupree in third. It'll be 2 to go this time across the stripe. Parkman dunks in behind Robert Hill Jr. Bauer looking for his first win. Carpenter looking for his first win. Isaiah Dupree looking for his first win of the season. Bauer gets arrow push, comes up in front of Bowden. Bowden comes down and hits Robert Hill Jr. White flag comes out. No caution. Hill Jr. just, oh my Lanta. Dupree on the inside. Bauer still looking for a hole. No hole to be had. And unless the wheels fall off of it, Mark Carpenter collecting his first win of his young season in the ISL. Gary Bauer spinning Isaiah Dupree after the finish. It's Carpenter, Dupree, Bauer, Bowden, Parkman, Erder, Paskowitz, Graf, Bouchard, and Whitaker, your unofficial top 10. We are going to go back and take a look at what happened to Robert Hill Jr. Here they are coming down the back straightaway. Watch the Kmart car, folks. And you see Bauer squeezes down on Bowden. Robert Hill Jr. just has nowhere to go. And this is the replay of the final lap. And we're going to isolate on Isaiah Dupree here. Gary Bauer hits him going into 3. Bauer squeezes Bowden down below the apron. Touches again, and then just... Wow. Wow. I don't know what else to say but that. Holy Christmas. So, let's see where Mr. Carpenter is. Not in TeamSpeak. Okay. Isaiah Dupree. Not in TeamSpeak.
User was moved to your channel.
Isaiah Dupree, Tony, up in the booth. You got me, sir.
Hey, what's up, Tony?
I would guess your blood pressure?
Yeah, it's a little high right now. It's higher, but it's up there.
Yeah, that was a hell of a finish. We just watched the replay of the final lap, and you and Gary Bauer gave each other everything either one of you could handle.
Yeah, it was fun. It would have been nice to have one person on the inside line. I think if I would have had some help on the backstretch on the inside line, I think I would have had him. But it was still fun. It's good hard battling. I don't know how he didn't rack a few laps before that in the 3 wide, but it was really fun.
I was kind of wondering that myself, because that got relatively ugly. I'm not sure if you saw the carnage that took place behind you when Robert Hill Jr. ate the pit wall.
I kind of caught a little bit of it, and I don't know. We'd go 3 wide, and I just kind of stick it up the middle and hope and pray for the best, and got second place out of it. So
it's about all you can do at that point. But yeah, the rookie definitely had your number tonight. But well, I believe the DW12s are more your forte, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I have an issue with winning in these cars for whatever reason, but the 12s, it's no problem. So I'm looking for another strong finish there.
I was going to say, well, the good news is we will be back in the DW12s here on Sunday. So definitely congratulations on the podium finish, and we will we'll see you next time.
Thank you. See you later.
As soon as I can figure out where the hell your TeamSpeak is. Where did you guys hide it?
I have no clue. You can just move me up the main gate.
Yeah, that works.
User was moved out of your channel.
And let me see if I can find...
User was moved to your channel.
Rounding out the podium, Mr. Gary Bauer, with his return to the league, showing why we call him Gary Front Row Bauer. Gary, talk us through that last couple of laps. That was kind of intense.
I'm still trying to catch my breath, Tony. That was pretty... That was white knuckle racing if I've ever been involved in one here. Jeez.
Yeah, I actually broke the chair I'm sitting in because I was white knuckling the armrests on it.
Yeah, I was hoping that Mark would just let me get my left tires on that line, as I was hoping I could get by him coming back, but we kept making contact. I don't know if it was him or me or...
That was Isaiah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was Isaiah that you banged wheels with going into 3. And
fun.
And I'm not sure if you caught the carnage coming to the white flag when you and, I believe it was David Bowden, made contact. Bowden actually got shoved into Robert Hill Jr., and thank God it's a simulator, because Hill Jr. was basically a basilar skull fracture away from being airlifted.
That was crazy. I mean, we were 3 and 4 wide there for most of those, last 5, 6 laps? 7 laps?
Yes, you were. Yes, you were. As it was definitely made for a great broadcast, but not so much fun, I guess, when you're not in the car.
Right. Right. I got a shout out to Betty Lou. Hi, Betty Lou.
Yes, Miss Betty Lou from Minnesota watching tonight. But Gary, congratulations on getting some good points for your team. I believe, let me look down through the finishing order, the unofficial finishing order. It looks like Team Booze Brothers going to collect the most team points tonight, with you finishing in third and Erder getting a 6th.
Yeah, that was fun. I really enjoyed that. I can't wait for the DW12s here. The card didn't. It was a good setup, but it was just fun. Thanks, Tony, for all you do.
Well, thank you,
Alex.
thank you guys for making my job kind of easy. But we'll let you get back up into your team speak with the rest of your team, and we'll see you Sunday night in the DW12s.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Welcome back.
Welcome back to you, sir.
Thanks.
User was moved out of your channel.
As I believe that is going to do it tonight. Unofficial results: Mark Carpenter coming home with the victory, as A. Dupree coming home in second, Gary Bauer for third, David Bowden, Chris Parkman, Mike Erder, Kevin Paskowicz, Tyler Graff, Chris Bouchard, and Mike Whitaker rounding out your top 10. Just grab the results real quick here. Most laps led is going to go to Ronnie Osmer with 31, who also gets fastest lap of the race. Clean Race Award goes to Chris Bouchard, Mike Whitaker, Chris Parkman, Mike Erder, Anthony Rice, Tyler Vickery. Let me just make sure I got that. Parkman, Erder, Bouchard, Whitaker, Vickery, Rice, and Lacavara all getting clean race bonus points. Hard Charger Award going to go to Mr. Gary Bauer. Started 18th, finished 3rd. The rule is you have to qualify, or actually have to make a qualifying attempt to be eligible for that. David Bowden started 26th. However, he did not take time in qualifying. So the Hard Charger Award for tonight's race is going to go to Gary Bauer. 3 cautions for a total of 12 laps, 27 lead changes. I don't know what else to say other than this is really what this league is all about. Hard fought racing, but clean racing for the most part. Getting a little chippy there at the end, but going for the win, you kind of got to cut some guys some slack. This has been a presentation of the RobertsTechJobs.com IndyCar Speedway League. RobertsTechJobs.com, of course, is your Midwest leader in temp to hire and contract positions in the IT field for IT professionals. So if you are an IT professional in the Midwest, or if you're looking to relocate, go to RobertsTechJobs.com and please let Bill know that the ISL sent you. For Mr. Jason Coburn over in Race Control, for Alex Green, league owner, for Bill Roberts, our league series sponsor, this is Tony Trapasso saying we will catch you back here Sunday night in the DW12s.